There is going to be a shutdown in South Africa by South African women and supported by all the African women due to the killing of all those women. They say they are tired every time the life of women in South Africa has been taken. They are tired. Here are the video clip that you need to see the reason why this national shutdown is being planned by all the South African women and also support with nationwide.
Fellow South Africans, our country is rotten, rotten to the core. I'm right now with Yolani Khumalo, our mayoral candidate for Ekurhuleni. We're busy canvassing in Ward 109 for the by-election on the 10th. As we're busy, we are called by the community. It's a church. While the church is on, someone comes in selling cookies. In these cookies are drugs. Fortunate enough, we've managed to really get the police quickly to come in. The person is arrested, is now behind bars. But five young girls we've taken them to hospital. What has really befell our country, fellow South Africans, to allow people, drug dealers, to come into a church while the church service is on, take advantage of our youth, give them drugs. Luckily, you know what, we've managed to really come across this because people know Dr. Olani to really be a big activist fighting this evil called drugs. The community called him in and we managed to arrest this criminal, and we're going to ensure that he remains in jail. We're going to mobilize the community to make sure when he appears in court to make sure that he does not really get bail until we must get to the bottom of this, to find out the people behind this drug dealings in our communities, including actually coming into a church building while people are busy praying.
November 21st, Women for Change is calling for a national shutdown in South Africa in solidarity with victims of GBV and femicide in South Africa. Not just in solidarity, wanting to get GBV and femicide in South Africa labeled as a national disaster, a national emergency, which it is. The numbers are absolutely horrifying. 5,578 women murdered in 1 year in South Africa, and that's 33% higher than the previous year. We see the hashtag Justice For every week, every day, because this is an ongoing problem that is escalating in South Africa. And the people who are supposed to be protecting and making sure it doesn't happen and making sure justice is found are not. The shutdown is happening November 21st, which is the day before the G20 summit. So very important timing to be able to raise awareness for this and put pressure that will hopefully lead to some kind of change. I've tagged Women for Change, so you can go to their profile and get all the details that are needed about how you can be involved, what you need to do, what's going to be happening. And to the woman who commented on my post, bringing this to my attention, and you said, excuse for hijacking your post. I cannot find your comment. I wanted to reply to your comment with this video. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if TikTok took it down, if you took it down, or if it got into my filtered comments, and there's like over 300 filtered comments on that post now, so I can't find it. But thank you for bringing it to my attention, and I'm sorry that I was unable to find it and use your comment in this video.
I'm sure you're wondering why South Africans are turning their profile pictures online purple. Let's talk about it. Hi guys, I'm Libba Lion, the voice of marketing and your friend in all things marketing, brand building, and sometimes pop culture. Now, an organization that raises awareness against gender-based violence in South Africa called Women for Change is calling for a national shutdown on the 21st of November 2025, the day before the G20 summit is being held in South Africa. And they're saying that femicide and gender-based violence is a matter of national importance and national emergency. They are demanding that gender-based violence and femicide be declared a national disaster. And the stats are supporting this call for action, right? And here are some harrowing statistics to back up what they're saying. In just 1 year, 5,578 women were murdered. This is a 33.8% increase from the previous year. To contextualize this even further, South Africa's femicide rate is 6 times higher than the global average. If that does not scare you, I don't know what does. And so they are saying that on the 21st of November, women, members of the LGBTQIA+ community, and men who are in solidarity with women should change their profile picture to the color purple. You can find any shades of purple on Pinterest or wherever you like to. And for us to wear black and not participate in any economic activity, going to work, etc., to show how much women and members of the LGBTQIA+ community contribute to the world and this country working properly. They want to show that protecting women and children and members of the LGBTQIA+ community is also protecting economic growth and nurturing economic growth. That's why they're doing it during the G20, when world leaders are going to be in South Africa talking about matters of national importance and how we can grow world economies. This is something that we should all be participating in as South Africans because it impacts all of us. And I know a lot of people are skeptical about social media activism, but I want you to look at it as social media being a media tool that we're using to amplify our messages, not only locally, but to the world, right? We don't rely on the news and newspapers that are biased to certain sponsors and investors. And now we're saying, as the people, this is our collective voice. This is the country we want to see. These are our problems and challenges, and this is how we want to fix them. I'm also going to read what they wrote on their social media posts, just so that you get context of what's really happening. South Africa is facing one of the most violent and deadly gender-based violence epidemics in the world. We call on all women and members of the LGBTQIA+ community across South Africa to refrain from all paid and unpaid work in workplaces, universities, homes, and communities to demonstrate the economic and social impact of their absence. Because until South Africa stops burying a woman every 2.5 hours, the G20 cannot speak of growth and progress. We demand that gender-based violence and femicide be declared a national disaster. Not tomorrow, not at another summit, now. Join the G20 Women's Shutdown. Withdraw your power on 21 November. Guys, do the right thing.
My name is Amani Dube, the National Coordinator for the National Shutdown being held on the 17th of November. Now we're reclaiming our land. We're saying no to rand manipulation. We're saying the rand should trade at 7 rand to the dollar, not 18 rand. And we are demanding that the arrest of corrupt politicians we must have our warrants, our arrest warrants immediately and effectively. If not, we march on the 17th. By Friday, if those demands are not met, the country will shut down. The G20 will not happen. We can't allow people to write our policies, decide on our minerals, and we sit back and do nothing. We won't allow banks that are controlled from Switzerland to continue manipulating the rand and oppressing the people of South Africa. We're saying no to economic sabotage.